up here. Something that I'm thinking about doing each and every day, as long as I don't get hay fever. It is Lovely Coffee, which is my stage name, just in case you are new to the channel here and not know that I've got a stage name. But of course, yes, you can see Touring with Us in the background as it's posted very clearly behind me as a sort of background. So if you're watching on replay, a massive hello to you. And if you're watching or having to be watching live, we don't mind that as well. But of course, it is Monday, the 6th of June, 2022. Of course, yes, I might put subjects on the actual channel here for anyone that wants to comment down below. Feel free to do so. What I would actually say is that one subject, for example, is, of course, have you heard of Instagram? And I believe it's the same people that are running Facebook. So yeah, it's organised by a sort of company by the name of Meta, and of course they're the ones that also run Facebook apparently. But I don't know about the Twitter side of things. I don't think that's run by Meta. But of course, if it's got the word Meta, you know it's Mark Zuckerberg that runs. Well, he's just part of the team that runs the whole of the social network of Facebook, Instagram, and I think there's another one there that I might not have mentioned here. But yeah, it's great to be here, and of course, it's a miserable sort of Monday afternoon, isn't it? It's the start of the week, and of course, it's not always something that we can smile about if the weather isn't sort of great. The adverse weather is seem to be continuing, but of course, it's drier at least than yesterday. We didn't actually manage to go to the recreation ground in Haverhill as we were liking to go, but of course, if the weather was better, we would have done it. But of course, I think it was more of a family event, and we tend not to sort of steer in that direction. Depends on where the location is. We might talk about it occasionally, but it's not something that I personally would actually go out my way and, of course, showcase as much. But of course, I don't know whether it was all families or just families with the children, which of course we don't tend to sort of steer in that direction. Although we do mention, of course, if any families that are interested in parks and all that kind of thing, like swings and all that kind of thing, we mention it occasionally. Obviously, we don't want to come across what, but of course, that's not our sort of slogan on that. Sorry, I had an itch there, and sometimes when you're live, you do get itches, and I don't know if you've noticed that with live streamers out there. There was one I was watching the other day actually, and the reason why I mentioned have you actually heard of Instagram, which we have now started actually, and the reason why I'm mentioning this because of course this guy that I'm going to talk about now actually came up with the idea of that. So his name was Richard McVeigh, I think it was, and I believe he has performed at Boris Nevins one Christmas. So I presume the people that run the St Edmundsbury Cathedral, the assistant organist and director of music there, uh, which is currently under different names now. I know the assistant organist is Richard Cook, but of course, yeah, it seems to be a lot of Richards about in terms of organ players. But of course, this particular one had over at least 81 plus K subscribers, which is really tremendous. So it's really much a good achievement on that particular note to actually achieve that. That's even little higher, about 20K higher than Walk With Me Tim, just for example's sake. It could be even higher than some other channels as well. But of course, it takes absolutely ages to get there. But hopefully one day we'll get there. But if you want to check out our Instagram, which of course that guy Richard McVeigh actually sort of mentioned, that's why I've seemed to have gone back to the Instagram and I found it by accident. And the truth is I found it under the name of Luminous Platform. So I thought I'd change it and tweak it. and call it touring with us. So, yeah, that's fascinating on that particular note. So it looks like we're in a studio here. That's my microphone that I usually use for the Club Mix show, which, of course, you can hear the actual show that goes out on that channel. All Request Radio, each and every Fridays and Saturdays between the time of 10 p.m. and midnight, beginning to sound like a voiceover expert. But anyway, that's another thing altogether. That's my CD collection just behind that, and a few others as well. So, yeah, and the touring with us background to go with it as well. But yeah, the only difference between Instagram and other live streaming sites such as Twitter, which apparently you can go live on Twitter as well, but of course they both seem to be the same, and including Facebook. There's no time on the screen like there is now. I can see 6 minutes rolling by, and even when you go on StreamYard, you still see the time rolling by, so you know how long you've been on air. So it's always useful to know that. So of course, YouTube upstepped that mark where you can actually see the time ticker on the screen, and of course it's quite useful to know, although you don't see it your end, but we see it our end. That's what I can confirm, but of course it doesn't come up on the screen your end, unfortunately. But it's not, of course, one of those pro TV channels that actually does that, like when you watch the football on Sky or something. But no, it's one of those scenarios where, of course, we see it our end and you don't see it your end. So I can actually tell you, of course, it's 6 minutes and 52 seconds rolling by. I will be able to see that on StreamYard as well. And if we can get some thumbs up, and it really helps boost the channel as well. And I just want to give a mention to everyone that I've met recently, and of course, those people who, of course, I encourage people to subscribe to us. And of course, it really helps boost the channel if you could spread more news about our channel, and of course how we are progressing and how we're doing quite well. And of course we're sort of halfway to the midway point of reaching 1k subscribers, but it's still a long way to go. And of course, yeah, here on this day, and I can tell you what time it is, 4 minutes past 3 p.m, 15:04 in 24-hour clock mode. But what I would say is I'm feeling a lot better than I did last night, actually, because I felt a little bit drained. I don't know if anyone felt the same, but of course, maybe it was just the weather sometimes does it, or sometimes you're overtired. We did actually get back at 1 o'clock in the morning on Saturday morning, or actually Sunday morning, but of course, that's one of those things. So, of course, we have now started on Instagram. That's the main question of the actual show. If you want to comment down below, feel free to do so at any time. But you're more than welcome to, of course, watch live at any time as well. I might do another update later on We Love East Anglia, and keep you updated on that. And that's why we're probably narrowing down. Of course, I'm going to tell you a little bit more inklings of what we're going to tell you on Wednesday. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a clue, something to do, of course, clamping down on the kind of shows that we do, as in lengthy wise, and of course it might be just cutting back some kind of shows, but of course we'll still have the Q&As and things like that, that we'll continue to do. But the Wednesday show may stay as it is. We'll have to wait and see on that. But of course, we're talking in terms of the weekend basis, where we'd probably like to have a bit of a well-earned rest on that one. Well, who doesn't? But yeah, on a sort of Sunday. But yeah, we might want to listen to Richard McVeigh, which is quite actually interesting, because he actually came up with the idea of the Instagram, because he actually mentioned it. The reason why he mentioned it is because he actually said that he was just getting used to it. So if you go over to that live stream of the Platinum Jubilee, the one that he done yesterday with God Save the Queen, which was absolutely fantastic, over 2 hours, and he made at least on his super chats, which we don't have at the moment, but of course you can still donate if you wish, but do it the PayPal version or GoFundMe if you wish. And of course, he made a lot of super chats on that night, receiving over £200 at least. But obviously, YouTube take a big, huge cut of that, like any other organisations like that. But with these kind of channels, of course, it's a new thing, and some people are still a little bit on the old school kind of feeling, and they say it's not really their thing. But Instagram to me is not really my thing at the moment, but we'll see how it goes. But of course, we'll see if we can get some people following us. But of course, it's going to take a while to get that up and running, I think, to get the actual followers. And it's not an easy thing if you're just starting out. At least, of course, they allow you to do a live stream. But the problem is with, again, those live streams that you get on the Instagram and the Twitter as well, includes that as well. I think Facebook you're allowed to download them and put them on YouTube, but of course with Instagram I have not yet worked it out. I've not yet worked it out of how to download and then put them up to YouTube later, which is the main channel that is what we use at the moment. So yeah, to cut a long story short, I'm not going to go on for any longer because I don't really want to bore you for half an hour, but of course this is just a short update here. It's longer than Jim Davison because normally he goes on for about 7 minutes and then he cuts off, and because he's got a Ustream channel actually at the moment, so yeah, he goes out on Ustream. He just calls it Ustream, and he knows people like Alex Byfield, if you've heard of them, probably Jimmy Carr, because of course he goes to Great Yarmouth and does gigs up there. Jim Davison I'm talking about, at the Britannia Pier, and he's apparently appearing in July and August. So I don't know whether we're going to get a ticket in time for possibly August. It'd be nice to see Jim Davison for a second time round, because we saw him the first time in 2019. But it'd be nice to go back and see him again. But we'll see on that. But yeah, he doesn't normally come out and show himself because he's probably too shattered by the time he comes out. But yeah, at least actually you get to see him though. I'm sure if we met Jim Davison, he would be a fantastic star to us, and of course I could talk to him all day. But yeah, it's just one of those things, isn't it? But we can't beg and choose in these days, as you know. But yeah, on a daily basis, I will be trying to update things and tell you some news if I have it. Also, I'll be telling you some stuff that maybe we see in the, the papers and all that kind of thing. Bit like a Jim Davison, but of course, maybe on a longer terms instead of a 7 minute or 5 minute show. But anyway, that's because he has a membership channel and he wishes people to go and see that. And apparently he's got a DVD on there as well, which is worth seeing. And he actually recorded at Britannia Pier when we weren't there. But that was another thing. So to cut a long story short, feel free to comment down below if you like these updates, and if you'd like us to talk about a specific subject, let us know in the comments here. That's what this sort of Free Speech Nation is all about here. And of course, you can ask us any question that we may have, and we'll try and answer you on the comment section as well, because you can respond after the live stream's gone up. You really, really can. So, of course, your comments are welcome. Please subscribe to us, share to your friends, tell your friends, that kind of thing. And of course, we're on Twitter, now on Instagram, and of course, like us on Facebook. And I believe follow us on Instagram, which is a follow kind of thing, a bit like Twitter, I think. I sort of worked that one out in a way. But yeah, is there anything else that we're on? We're also, of course, doing the other channels of Luminous Platform, and We Love East Anglia, and We Love Haverhill as well. So huge thank you for watching, and of course we'll see you next time. Bye bye.